All right, welcome back, everybody. Giants Padres series is now over, and we win. We sweep the Giants 2-0. This was a huge series win for us. Yeah, this was just a freaking fantastic bounce back series because it's been pretty rough for these past three series, losing three series in a row and getting swept in the last one here. So this was a really good comeback. I know it was only 2 games, but I really feel like we needed both of these games to just sort of like get back into the groove of winning, which we have been doing for the most part this season. So this series felt like part of like the first 7 games, how we were just like, it was a full on team win, all across the board. The bullpen, the pitching, the defense, the offense, everything was clicking, and everything felt like it did in those first 7 games. So really good pair of wins, and a really good way to end April for the Padres in 2025 here. So I'm gonna go ahead and break down both games here, and then who do we play after here? Who do we play next? Let me see. Oh, Pittsburgh on Friday. Okay, and then we'll do a little bit of a Pittsburgh. Well, we'll just talk a little bit about that upcoming Pittsburgh series. But yeah, so game 1 of the Giants series was Pivetta, and Pivetta did really good. It's unfortunate that he ended up with 3 earned runs, even though he left the game with a guy, I think one or two guys on base, and that one of them ended up coming in to make it like a 3 runs earned on his stat sheet, but it really was like more like 2 runs, or at least it felt more like 2 runs from him. Still, it was a really good outing, 5 1/3, 9 Ks, and against a team as hot as the Giants are playing, that's really good. And he's like in the middle to bottom end of our order. So yeah, we're getting a lot more than we ever could have asked for out of Pivetta. So it's just another great outing from him. He's been like probably our most consistent starter. So shout out to Pivetta. He's been great. So top of the first, Manny had a really good defensive play, and he called off Hayward. It was like a blooper towards like back behind third base, and almost like I don't know, it was like around where like the ball girl is usually. And Manny like tried to call off Hayward, and it didn't really look like Hayward heard, or maybe, I don't know, he wasn't paying attention, but at least Manny tried to like call him off, and maybe that caused Hayward to like pull up a little bit, but it almost looked like they were going to collide, but thank God they didn't. And Manny makes the out. Bottom of the first, Tatis gets called out on a strike call on a pitch below the zone, or I think he got called 2 strikes by the ump that were out of the zone. It was kind of unfortunate. And then this is Arise's first game back since his injury in Houston. He grounds out, and it's 2 outs, and it looks like we're probably not going to get anything, but 2 outs is usually actually good for us. We seem to thrive when it's 2 outs. So that's when Manny comes up. He gets a single, Sheets walks, and then Xander comes up and he breaks his 16-game RBI-less streak. 16 games. And with a single up the middle, that scores Machado. And shout out to Xander here. He actually hustled to get to second base out of it, because Jung-Hoo Lee tried to throw Gavin out at third. And so shout out to Xander for hustling there. Jose Iglesias comes up. He hits an opposite field single. That scores Xander and Gavin. Makes it 3-0. Then Pivetta would give up a solo homer to Adames, opposite field. Right center field, actually. And I honestly, that homer was pretty good. I gotta tip your cap to Adames there. That was a freaking all power to right center there for him. That was not a lot of guys can do that at Petco Park at night. So I thought that was something I should bring up, just because I thought that was kind of interesting to see. 3-1 Padres at this point, and then bottom of the fourth, opposite field double for Hayward. Diaz has an opposite field hit as well, making it first and third with no outs. Tatis has like a swinging bunt that moves Diaz to second, and then Arise hits a sac fly that scores Hayward. Manny would single up the middle and make it 5-1. And then top of the 6th, Adames would get a leadoff double followed by a single to bring him in to make it 5-2. And then this would be eventually where Pivetta gets taken out after 5 1/3. Estrada would come in, and he would give up a single and that would make it 1st and 3rd because there was a guy on already. Then he gives up a double, and that would score 2 to make it 5-4. Bottom of the 7th, Sheets gets on by a hit by pitch. I'm not sure if this really hit him, but honestly, we've been getting screwed a lot by the refs recently, so whatever, I'll just take it. And then Xander comes up in a very big spot, 5-4 at this point, late in the game. And I was thinking he probably wasn't going to get his first home run. Spoiler, he gets his first home run here in April. And it goes down into the corner just past the wall of left field. And I remember I was just like screaming like, gone! Because I was actually pretty hyped up because I wasn't thinking, I wasn't sure if he was going to get a home run there, but I mean, obviously I want him to because he's on our team and he's going to be on our team for a while. So we should want him to do good, no matter what. And, when he isn't doing good, we have to give him flack. But when he does do good stuff, we should also give him praise. And he did a good thing here. Nice swing by Bogey. That dude left a pitch over the plate, and Bogey didn't miss it. He hits it over the wall, making it 7-4. Crowd goes wild. And then that gives us some breathing room. And Jason, Adam, and Suarez lock down the 8th and 9th inning. Suarez gets another save because it's a 3-run game. And that would be the end of game 1. Game 2 is the King game, but today the King would end up, I'm not sure how Adames got on first, I don't remember, but King ends up picking off Adames at first base on a nice play, or a nice play by King there. Top of the 2nd, Matt Chapman gets Machado'd on a nice defensive play by Manny Machado. Manny Machado was great defensively this series. He had like 3 or 4 plays that I'll put up here that where he just like did something really crazy, awesome, and they should be highlighted. So I'm gonna put them up here. So good job, Manny. Bottom of the bottom of the 2nd, Gavin walks and is moved to second base on a ground out, and then T Wade comes up with the clutch 2-out single to bring in Gavin to make it 1-0. Bottom of the 3rd, Elias Diaz gets a solo homer that hits a Giants fan in the wrist, and that was a home run. I'm pretty sure if that guy didn't interfere, would have hit the top of the wall and then bounced over. So yeah, I mean, they reviewed it, but that looked like a home run to me. And if it wasn't a home run, I would have been extremely mad. And that, I don't know what would have happened to that guy, but I bet you would have been getting a lot of flack from the guys around him. From the Padre fans around him, deservedly so. But he didn't, so instead he was getting a bunch of high fives. Thank you, my brother, for I would have given him a high five too if I was there, as a little tease. Anyway, bottom of the 5th, Tatis gets an opposite field single. He was gonna be my worst performer of the series with the 0 for 5 in game 1, but he had a 3 for 4 day or something today, and he looked really good today. And at this point in the bottom of the 5th, with the opposite field single, would be 3 for 3. So he avoids that, and then Arise pulls a single, but down the line this was when Arise pulls a single between the 1st and 2nd baseman to make it 1st and 3rd with 1 out. Manny hits an opposite field single, a lot of opposite field hits this series. And that would score Toddy, making it 3-0. Gavin would walk on a check swing that probably he should have been out on, but we'll take it. That makes the bases loaded. Iglesias has a swinging bunt that scores another run, making it 4-0. 6th inning, Giants start to get some hits on King, and his pitch count starts to get up there to around 90. They score a run on an infield single off of Rise's glove to make it 4-1. That would be it for King. He comes out 5 2/3. Estrada gets the final out in the 6th, and then he comes out for the 7th and gives up. Oh wait, hold on. Estrada gets the final out of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th, Diaz gets an opposite field single. Tatis grounds out to move him to 2nd, and then a Luis Arraez triple down the right field line scores Diaz. Great to see that. Always fun seeing Luis Arraez run the bases. And then Estrada comes in for the 7th and gives up a solo shot to Ramos. That was a shot by Ramos there. Second deck, but it was only a solo shot, thank God. So it's only 5-2 at this point. Jason Adam would come in. He would give up a solo shot to Mike Yastrzemski, making it 5-3. And then he was starting to get into a bit of trouble, but then he almost gives up a hit, like a deep blooper to left field, sort of in that same area near the ball girl and stuff. And Hayward has to he has to run really quick to get to it, and makes like a nice sliding catch for the 2nd out of the 8th inning. It was a huge out, and that saved Jason Adam big time. And then Suarez would come in to get another save. He's just locked down, and that would be it. We would sweep the series 2-0. Player of the series, I was gonna give it to Xander for that game 1, but his game 2 was pretty unremarkable. I think he was 0 for 3 or 0 for 4 or something. So I'm just gonna give it to Suarez for having back-to-back great saves. So he's gonna get player of the series. I think he's got 12 saves now, and he just keeps coming through over and over again whenever we call on him. So shout out to Suarez. Pitcher of the series, I'm gonna give it to King. 5 2/3, 1 earned run, and yeah. Worst performer, I don't really have one this series because it was a short series, and pretty much everyone contributed on some level. So extra stuff I wanted to talk about real quick. The Tatis leg kick video that I saw going around, I actually looked into this. He only did that on that one pitch at the end, his last at bat of the first game. He never did that on any other pitch or any other at bat this series. So I think that may have just been a one-off thing, maybe a force of habit thing. Because I actually went through each and every at bat of his, each and every pitch, and he didn't do that at all. So I'm assuming that just means that was just a force of habit thing. So, which is good, because I think his new stance is really working wonders, as we see. He goes 3 for 4 today. So yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about that. Like I said, final thoughts, great series, great comeback series, and yeah, it was just well played all around in all facets of the game for us. So we move up to 2nd place in the NL West, which is big, and we get a couple games on the Giants in the division. So that's awesome. Upcoming series is going to be against the Pirates. We're not going to see Paul Skeens, thank God, because I think he's pitching today. Pirates are not that good, so we should be able to beat up on them on Friday. Yeah, 11-19. So it's going to be a cease game. We should win. We should at bare minimum win this series, at least 2-1. If we sweep, that's awesome. But I'll just take winning the series for now. I'm pretty sure Merrill should be back this series, but we'll see. And I don't expect Crone back probably until probably late May. I would honestly say more like late May. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this 2-game set. Like I said, great comeback series. And yeah, everything is a-okay. Everything is fine. That's all I got really for this one. Quick video because it's a quick series, just a 2-game set. And yeah, that's about it. Have a good one, guys.